she has stuck with it after 2 years. And so I basically asked her to share why she's chosen to persevere, what's keeping her moving forward, and all of that jazz. So I'm going to let her share, and then at the end, we're going to do something a little special to wrap up. Okay, so Bree, I'm going to let you go ahead and take it away. I can't hear you, but it does not say that you're muted. Uh-oh. Might be something with your computer. Might have to jump off and jump back on. In the meantime, do we have any new coaches? Allie, do you want to introduce yourself and share who's your upline and where you're from and what you do?
Okay, I'm Allie, and Kaylee McQueen's my upline. And I was a teacher, but now I'm working at a dermatologist's office. Kind of a long story there.
And maybe share like how you got introduced to Beachbody.
Let's see. That was last fall. I kind of reconnected with Kaylee over Instagram, and she reached out to me. I was kind of in a spot where I knew I needed to kind of get a hold of some things, and had been kind of flip-flopping between a bunch of different programs and diets and all that fun stuff, and nothing had really stuck. And so when she reached out, I figured I'd give it a try, and I've been doing it since September, and I absolutely love it. So I decided to start coaching.
Perfect. Welcome. Bree said her Zoom is currently updating. So she will be back. So in the meantime, Mandy, do you want to unmute yourself?
Yes.
So we have another girl on our team. She's apparently on this call, Emily. Can't see your beautiful face, but Emily is shared a prayer request in our big team page earlier today. She has a beautiful little girl who is struggling with RSV, and I think we all know that's kind of been going around, and a lot of babies have been struggling with it. So our hearts are just kind of really broken for her right now, and so we wanted to do a quick prayer for Wrigley, I think is her name. So Mandy, do you want to lead us through a really short prayer, and then we'll jump back into team call?
Yeah. Emily, are you here right now? Like, can you hear us?
I'll unmute her.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't. Yeah, I'm here.
I just want to make sure that you're like here and like listening while we do this.
Yeah.
It's totally fine if you're not 100% into this team call, but want to make sure that you're here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying.
Okay. Yeah, God, we just come to you broken and hurting, and just acknowledge that we're stuck in this tension of already living amongst your kingdom, but also you haven't came back yet, and so there's so much hurt and brokenness in this world and sickness that is not of your will. And so we just pray for complete healing for Wrigley, and that the doctors have no explanation, and that it is just you coming in and doing what you do and bringing life from things that are broken and just situations that seem hopeless. And we just pray that you would surround Emily right now, and that she would just feel your peace and your love, and that any fear that the enemy is trying to bring up, or just any fear that Emily has right now. I just pray that you would remind her that you are good and that you're with her and that she's not lost and that you have called her found and that she just gets to rest in who she is in you and just in your goodness and just trust that you will plan. Thank you for all the ways that she's already seen you at work through being at the hospital. And I just pray for more people that show up as blessings, being obedient to you, and that blesses Emily and that just eases her mama heart right now. And I just thank you for who you are and that we have hope for when things like this happen. We're not hopeless, that we have eternity to look forward to and that we have your kingdom that we already get to live in right now. And so we just lift her up to you and we thank you for her and for Wrigley. And thank you that they have access to this healthcare. And thank you for all of the ways that you're already working in their lives. And we just ask for more, God. And we love you and we trust you. Amen.
Amen. So we hope that this can be a community that anyone can come to and ask for prayer requests and whatnot. We're here to build each other up, pray with each other, and support each other in any way that we possibly can. So Emily, keep us updated on Sweet Wrigley. And with that, Bree, let's see if your microphone's working. Dang, I can't hear you. Turning off my, okay, that's Kate. This is problematic. Go to, is there like settings or something that you can check? Click the arrow next to the microphone. Oh, say something.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, okay, cool. I don't know, my microphone was on a different setting or something. Okay, hi guys. I'm just gonna be really honest, I'm super nervous, but also really excited to share with you guys. So I tend to talk fast the way it is, so if I'm going too fast, just slow me down. As Sierra said, I've been coaching for about 2 years, and I'll give you a quick rundown of how that started and then jump into our topic for tonight. I have a PowerPoint. Lord knows if I can figure out how to share that, but give me like 0.2 seconds. Is there like a share your screen? Guys, technology is really hard tonight.
So at the bottom, there should be a green square that says share.
Okay.
You might,
okay.
and then like desktop view or something.
Okay. Oh, guys.
Is your Zoom? There we go.
Okay. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm going to talk for 2 seconds and then we can go into this. So I started coaching 2 years ago. I was just finishing my undergrad at Iowa State University, and Sierra reached out to me and just said, hey, I think you might be good at this. And I was like, who is this girl? I have no idea what this is. This was like the last thing on my radar. And so long story short, I think it was about a month after she initially contacted me that I had graduated in December. It was 2 days before Christmas, and I just decided to go all in and said yes and have not really looked back since. So it's been just over 2 years. And so as she kind of said, there's been highs and lows to coaching, and that just comes with the territory because it's part of life. So I'm just going to kind of talk through just my experience and what I've learned and give you guys hopefully some good takeaways to implement moving forward. So I think if I hit present, this will present. Maybe. Okay. So I'm going to start with this verse because it has kind of been like the theme of my life the last several years and just feel like it's fitting for this. So I'm going to read it, but you guys can just follow along. It's Romans 5:1-4. It says, therefore, since we have been justified through faith, we have a peace with God through Jesus Christ, through whom we have gained access by faith into this grace in which we now stand. And we boast in the hope of the glory of God. Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope. and hope does not put us to shame because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us. And honestly, I kind of just want to end the team call right there because this verse just like says it all. Like perseverance, producing character, hope. I skipped one, but you get the point. It's just like so much stems from this, and like we get to do this and have the power of the Holy Spirit in us while we do it. So here's kind of just my takeaways from the last 2 years. Right now I'm sitting at Emerald rank, and some of y'all are like, seriously, 2 years in, that's all she's done. It's been a roller coaster. I'm in PT school. I didn't say that yet. I'm in PT school full time right now and started that about a year and a half ago. And so life is crazy 24/7. The only reason I'm leading this call right now is because I'm on Christmas break still. So I'm just gonna kind of talk through how I make this work in the cracks of my day, like the literal cracks. And yeah, so first of all, I just want to say, know your why and run with it. I remember being on early team calls, and almost every single week, someone said something along the lines of, what is your why? Sit down, write down your why, like, why are you doing this? All these things. And I just remember being like, I don't really know why I'm doing this. Like, Sierra said I'd be good at it. I have the time right now because I had a semester off between undergrad and PT school. But other than that, I had like not really thought about it. And so I just remember girls talking about like wanting to eventually stay home with their kids and like build their dream home and send their kids to fancy schools and like all these big elaborate things. And I just remember being super overwhelmed and like, well, my why is not even close to as cool as that. Like, does this even matter? I don't even know. And so my encouragement to you is make your why your own, because if trying to live out someone else's why, like that's not what's going to drive you. It's your own why. It's your own heart behind why you started this. And that's what's going to keep you going. And so just want to like briefly share what mine is. And if you haven't figured it out for yourself yet, I know there's a couple of newbies on here. We'll introduce you at the end, but just start thinking about why you're really doing this. Like, what is the heartbeat behind your coaching? And so for me, it's kind of a couple of things, but a big one is to pay off student loans. PT school is very expensive. And so that's a big one financially. But other than that, just in general, wanting to be a light in the world of fitness, because there is so much darkness in the fitness industry. There's just a lot of girls that are really trapped in negative self-image and just fad diets that are not working, and just trapped in the mindset that they have to spend hours at the gym. You guys have seen it on social media, and it can just be really sad and really dark. And so just like wanting to be a light in that aspect. So that's my kind of charge to you for this point, is just go write that down, put it somewhere you're going to see it. Have it written in a sticky note on the inside cover of my coaching notebook. So I see that every time I sit down. Put it somewhere that you're going to be reminded of it often. This next point, show up when you can and where you can. I'm going to unpack this, so hang with me. Some of what I'm going to say might contradict like everything you've ever heard on a coaching call, but just hear me out. So ideally, you want to be doing all the vital behaviors every day, okay? Personal development, super important. Inviting people to your groups, obviously important. But there's going to be times where like that's what's going to move your business forward fastest, but there's going to be times where life is just seriously insane, and you're going to have to prioritize. You're going to have to sit down and figure out what's the most important, what are the little tasks you can still be doing to be consistent. And so when I say show up when you can, I don't mean just like 7 a.m. is a good time every day. I mean like when in the next year, when in certain seasons of your life, is it realistic to hustle really hard? And when is it just more of a time where you might need to step back a little? So for me, as an example, the week before finals week and finals week are the 2 weeks every semester don't do any coaching work, because I just learned that it takes up way more mental space than I can give at that point when I'm trying to like split my attention between coaching and studying really hard for finals. And like, that's just reality for me. And it's hard to give it up for those 2 weeks, because it's like, oh, I feel like if I quit now, or if I'm not doing this now, like I'm going to fall behind or whatever. Like, that's just a lie. If you take a few days off here and there, or a week if you have to, it's not going to reverse everything you've already done. Like in those 2 weeks, I'm still showing up for my challenge group girls. I'm still doing my own workouts. I'm still like in the coaching world. I'm just not sitting down for a power hour, sending out invites, that kind of thing. So that's what I mean by win. Because when life gets really crazy and you're trying to stretch yourself too thin, that's when coaching is going to become a burden. And if you let coaching become a burden in your life, one, it's not going to be enjoyable for you. And two, people are going to know that it's not what you're loving right now. People can tell when you're not actually passionate about something. You're just in it for the money, or you're in it because you feel like you just shouldn't quit or whatever. People can tell. So don't let it ever become a burden, because that's what's going to burn you out and make you not want to do it anymore. On to where, show up where you can, is like, I kind of touched on this already, but pick a couple areas where you can be consistent no matter what season of life you're in. And so for me, it's my own workouts, it's my own challenge group, like still continuing to be there for those people, even when finals are happening and things are crazy. So just figure out like what things for you make the most sense to continue. Like for me, personal development is the first thing to go, just straight up. It's just not something to make a ton of time for in this season of life. Yes, it's incredibly important and will help move your business forward like everything else, but that's the first thing to go for me. And the other thing I'm going to say, don't fall into the trap of like doing busy work. That was something I struggled with for a while too. And what I mean by that is like, skip the cute graphics, stop scrolling through like Nikki Whiting's page thinking you're being inspired. Like, don't fall for that, because that just ends up wasting so much of your time. So just get down to business and get done what you can do, and actually let this job be as flexible as we tell everyone it is. So kind of leading into the next piece, work in pieces. So here's just kind of like how I do my power hours, I guess. More often than not, I don't sit down and work for an hour straight. That's ideal. That's on the best days. And I would much rather sit down uninterrupted for an hour and do everything. But with the way my school schedule is, and it's pretty unpredictable, it's way more realistic for me to break it up. So I just want to say, don't be afraid to split it up the way that works best for you. So like for me, I try to do, the goal is always to do 20 to 30 minutes of work within my morning routine before I go to class in the morning. And then in the afternoon or on the weekends or right before I go to bed, it kind of depends. I work in another 20 to 30 minutes, either in smaller chunks as like study breaks, and I go kind of back and forth between coaching and school, or I'll like sit down and it's the last thing I do before I go to bed and sit down and crank out a little bit more. So be flexible with your power hour, be flexible with that time, because it's your business. You can run it how you want. You are setting your own hours, and that's what we talk about all the time. There's also weeks you might not have as much time during the week for a number of reasons. Just double up your time on the weekend, like make up for it later. It's not going to be the worst thing in the world if you're not sitting down for that solid hour every single day. I don't know what's next. Don't wait until you think you know what you're doing. This was a big one for me too, because like I said, when I jumped into coaching, guys, I had never even done a Beachbody program. Like never, I had done like a handful of workouts in like a high school fitness class. And I think my parents did P90X, and I might've done it like once or twice. I had never done it start to finish. I didn't know anything. I didn't understand what a challenge group was. I knew nothing. So don't wait until you think you have it all figured out, because guarantee nobody on this call, whether they've been coaching for 2 days or 2 years, nobody feels like they know what they're doing, okay? So you can't wait for that like light bulb moment to come on, because this business is about learning, and it's about learning and growing from each other. And that's what this team is here for, to be a resource for you and to be there for you. I have this notification flashing. Are people like trying to say things? I don't know how to open the chat box.
It's fine. We're just like agreeing with what everything you're saying.
Cool. Okay, I'll look at it later. I don't know where I am. Okay, so yeah, don't wait till you think you have it all together, because that moment's not going to come, and you're just wasting time thinking it's going to come. You guys have probably heard this quote before. I don't know who said it. I take zero credit. It's not original, but write this down. I'll say it slowly. God does not call the qualified. he qualifies the called. That is something I've heard several times, and I think it's just so true. Like, the Lord does not call us to things, like, if we felt qualified to everything we're called to, like, that's boring. That's not exciting. That's not challenging. That's not going to grow us and stretch us. You are on this coaching call. You're part of one of these teams because something in you said you needed to do this, probably the Holy Spirit. And you are in this because you are passionate about it. You're being called to do it for whatever reason, whether you're just good at helping people, you're a natural encourager, whatever your reason is. Again, that kind of goes back to your why. So yeah, don't wait till you think you have all the answers. Next is don't make quitting an option. This has kind of been, again, I just incorporated like all the themes of my life and I'm just throwing them at you. But don't make quitting an option. I have a very extensive history of injury. I was a runner in high school and I won't go into all the details, but within all of the injury and surgeries and comebacks and disappointments and all of that, the biggest thing that came out of it was that I didn't quit. People are inspired when you don't quit, whether it's a sport, whether it's coaching. Like, if you commit to something, people are going to really respect you and they're going to be excited to do it with you. So don't even make it an option for yourself. It just don't. Like, the only people who fail at this business are the people who quit. If you stick with it long enough, you're going to see the fruits of that. And yes, maybe your business moves at turtle speed like mine and you're an Emerald coach 2 years in, but that's okay. Like, get excited about the people who you're getting to help. Like, that's what this is all about in the end anyways. So if you felt the urge to quit, just go back to your why and let that be what drives you forward, because that's what I've had to do. There's been, Sierra doesn't know this, but there's been like 2 different times that I've been so close to texting her and being like, peace out, I can't do this. This is way too much on top of school. But like, sticking with it has been the most rewarding because, one, it's been my only source of income in PT school, and it's been so flexible. My classmates are stressed out all the time because they're trying to work these crazy hours at other jobs, and I'm like, I can work this whenever I want, and it's incredible. So anyways, I lost my train of thought, but you know what I'm saying. Next point. Dream, again, just a motto of my life. Dream big, but always pray bigger. And if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen this 100 times. I will preach dreaming big till the day I die because we serve such a big God that can do so much more than we can ever imagine. And so I think when we dream small, we are minimizing what he is capable of. So yes, look at people like Julie Kemp, who's freaking number 37 in the company, if you didn't get that news today. Like, look at people like that and be inspired by it and just see the potential in this, because there is seriously not just the financial potential, but the potential for what you're doing to reach literally hundreds, if not thousands of people across the nation, because that's what this starts as, and that is where it can go. And so yes, have those big dreams, have your goals written out for the year, for the next 5 years, whatever your thing is, but make sure you're inviting Jesus into this business. I don't know 100%, but I think everyone on here is Christian. And if you're serious about this, like, you have to let Jesus be a part of it, because he's the only reason that I want to be successful. I don't want to do this for myself. Like, I want to do it because I want to bring him glory and bring other people to a point of freedom in who they are as the person that he's made them to be. And so highly encourage you, if you don't do this already, to just pray for your current teams, like pray for the girls in your challenge group. I have started trying to be more intentional, like when I sit down to do coaching work, just taking a couple minutes to just give it to the Lord and pray for that time and pray for the people I'm about to talk to, and just let him into this, because none of us are going to be successful without him. And if we're dreaming big by ourselves and like for ourselves, nobody cares. Like, you have to do it with Jesus or it's not worth it. I think I have one more point. I don't actually know. Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. This is it. I thought there was one more, but there's not. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is just talk about, again, I'm going to bring back to running because that's what I know. There are going to be obstacles in this business, and the thing about obstacles, hurdles, if you will, is that they are meant to get over. Like if you were running and there was a hurdle in front of you, you wouldn't just stop. Like you would get over it in whatever way you could. So I wanted to just take the next like minute and have you guys write down 3, 4, whatever, like at least 3 potential or current obstacles that you have in your life that are either currently are or could be something that interrupts coaching. That could be your full-time job gets more demanding, your kids get sick, someone in your life that's close to you hates that you're a coach and has something to say about it. It can be a number of things. So I'm going to stop talking and give you guys a minute to do that. Okay. If you need more time, you can take that time later, but I'm just going to finish up with this. The last thing I want to say, so as you head into this week, look back on those hurdles or obstacles you wrote down and make a game plan, like actually physically write out what you're going to do when those present themselves and you're asked to get over them. The only way these kind of obstacles are going to completely derail what you're doing is if you let them. So don't let them. Have a plan and just be ready for when they do come because like I said, it's not an if, but a when. So that is all I have for you guys. If you have any questions, I will look at the chat and answer them. But otherwise, that's all I have to say.
Mic drop. So many golden nuggets. That was really encouraging. I have some things I'm just gonna highlight that I really liked. Was number one of your like whys was to be a light in the world of fitness. And I think I'm like in a similar boat as you as far as like what is a good why for me, because like my husband is in medical school. I could totally just like play the stay-at-home mom game and probably be financially fine through residency and into college. Like, so like me having this like big financial goal like isn't 100% like it's motivating, but it's not like super motivating. So my why has been like kind of all over the place too. But when you said, oh no, is everyone still there? Gosh, I hit this button and it like takes me to a no screen. I do that like every week. To be a light in the world of darkness, I just love that because I don't care who you are, like we are all that and we can all be that to all of our followers, no matter who our followers are. We're influencers, right? We are straight up Instagram influencers for whatever you want to be influencing. And right now you're influencing people to live healthier lives, fitness, nutrition, and spiritually, if that's something that you share on your platform is your faith. So loved that. If anyone has anything else to say with that, just like shout it out or put it in the chat box. But I also loved when you said people are inspired when you don't quit. And if you don't quit and you just keep moving forward, you'll eventually see the fruit from that. And I like how the fruit from that is so much more than just finances. Yes, the finances will come, but you know what's going to come before the finances is your own health, is your own mental clarity, is the relationships that you're building with your teammates and your customers, and the trust that you're building with them. And when people can reach out to you and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, I'm down 3 pounds, like, thank you for inviting me to this group. And that type of win is fruit too, is to be able to help people in that way. So regardless of if you make a penny in this business or not, you yourself are on your own journey to becoming the healthiest version of you, and you can't put a price tag on that. And you're helping people in the midst of it all. So there's always fruit when you don't quit. And I also loved when you said dream big, pray bigger. I've also heard like a similar quote that's like work like it depends on you, pray like it depends on God. And I feel like it's this, having people like you like share on team call is really encouraging to me, because with me personally, like I've always had a solid faith, but it's been a really interesting road for me to figure out, how do I weave my faith into my workplace? And besides like loving the people around me, because like that was easy when I had a physical job, when I went into an office with coworkers. Well, now I'm at home and I share things. So like, how do I incorporate my faith into what I do, what we all do now? And how do we incorporate our faith into our goals? So like, it's a continual, like, I don't know, up in my head thing of being proactive about how to incorporate my faith into my goals and my why and everything else. So many good nuggets. I am really glad you were able to lead team call. Like, I think it's funny that like you were able to lead team call and people are like, who is this person? Because she's never been on any other team calls. I think it's because you have Bible study on Wednesdays, right? Yeah. So super glad you're able to make it work this week, because this was a message all of us had to hear. Everyone could relate to at least something that you said. It was awesome. I'm posting the recording. So
Sierra, can I share something quick too?
Yes, please.
Okay. So 2 quick things. One of along the lines of Sierra was just talking about, with just like, and Bree brought it up a lot, of like showing up to do the work, but also just leaving it up to God. Like, one of my affirmations that I've been writing down every day is just like, I show up daily in my business. Like, that's a given. But ultimately, like, I depend on God to put the pieces together that I'm not even seeing. And just having that kind of mindset going into my day has also just lifted like some of the quote unquote stress that can come from like trying to hit goals and wanting these goals to happen so badly, but ultimately like surrendering that control to God. And then the other thing that I was kind of thinking about while you were sharing was how you go through these up and down periods in your business. And like she said, like, that's just comes with the business, because this business is so much like involved in our lives, with like it being a healthy lifestyle and promoting a lifestyle and fitting it into your lifestyle. And we just throw that word around a lot. And so when you do, like, we all need breaks, and we all go through things. Like, you go through things, that's part of life. And instead of just like leaving social media altogether without sharing any part of that, like, kind of defeats the purpose of what we do. So just like stopping sharing on social media, like, yes, we all need that time. We all need times where we're not uploading to our stories, but explain that to your followers and share that with them and let them be a part of that vulnerable part of your life, whatever it is it may be that you need to take a break from, because that's a super powerful tool as well, instead of just saying like peace out without any reason, I guess. Not that you need to explain yourself fully, but even if you just say, hey, this is what I need right now, like piecing out for the weekend. I see top coaches do that. They'll be like, hey, taking a social media hiatus for the weekend, like see you on Monday. And I think that's healthy for them to see that we do that too. That's it.
Awesome. Great.
I think there's a couple new people on here, so I don't know if we want to do intros quick.
Allie introduced herself. Paige, are you new?
Or did I just miss it? Maybe I just missed it.
Or you missed Allie.
Paige is also new.
Okay.
I think I got it. Did I mute myself? Yep. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going? I'm Paige Thompson. Bree is my upline. I live in Wisconsin. Full time, I'm an engineer, so I have a 40-hour-a-week job. And I've been with Beachbody for a year, just like as a client, doing the workouts, and have been debating being a coach for a while, and just kind of got connected with Bree at the right time. So I'm excited. Yeah.
Yay, we're super happy to have you. And I'm shouting out Annette. Annette has been a coach of mine and took a little bit of a break. And anyway, she's here. Do you want to introduce yourself and say hi?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, I don't even know when I started coaching, but I recently graduated PT school, well, in May. So I took a break for a while, and I'm just praying about whether it's something I'm supposed to start doing again. Yeah. So I texted Sierra telling her I was going to be on tonight. So here I am.
Hi. Good to see you.
Hi.
Bree, do you graduate in this spring?
No, next. So
Next
close.
spring. Okay. Well, hang in there. Okay. Let's. Any closing comments or anything? Questions? Boomerang time. On 3. 1, 2, 3. I think I do the same thing every single week. I need to spice it up a little bit. All right. Happy Wednesday, everyone. We'll see you next week. Make it a great day. Bye, guys.
Bye.